listening to Low Blow Sports on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy.
Hey, that's a low blow.
Hit them right in the family jewels.
Where our sports takes hit you above and below the belt.
Nice.
Now here's the squad. Scotty Kiefer, Kobe Burke, and Nick Johnston. This is Low Blow Sports.
Another week, another Bears loss, but another show here on Low Blow Sports.
Yeah.
I'm Scotty K here with Nick Johnston and Kobe Burke. How we feeling, boys?
I'm down in the dumps. Besides the Bears loss, I lost to my fantasy league that I care about. So,
No.
What's crazy is we've had this league for now 12 years. Not one time have we had back-to-back champions. So that's another year of that.
That's kind of good.
Yeah, I
though.
know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it sucks for you, but
I know,
that's
I
good.
know.
That's a good fantasy league to be in.
I know.
Where
No
everyone's actually
tattoo. No
competing.
tattoo.
Well,
No tattoo this
I
year?
have to space it out. It's okay.
No,
It's all
no
right.
calendar, no
Yeah.
belt.
But
Man,
it-
you got to give up the belt, bro.
I know. It's weird. I don't feel. It doesn't feel right. Even moving it because it's not mine anymore. I'm a lame duck champion right now.
Just
You
take
are.
it. Just don't give it up. Just hide it
You
somewhere.
are.
I kind of should.
You should.
I
You're
told
like
Nick
when
and-
they get counted out, but they don't have the ref in the ring. Like that's what it's kind of.
I told the guys they could pick it up at the bank of the river that I jump into. That's where they can find the belt. Yeah. No, it's not that bad actually. It would, when something negative happens, something positive happens. Had a fridge dropped off for Christmas. That was my gift to my mother this year. It had the slightest little ding on it. Got $250 back.
Whoa.
Bang. Yeah, making big boy purchases
Hey,
for
and
Christmas.
you had the same amount of playoff wins as Kobe.
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tajay Spears finally went off, right?
It took him 8 weeks after I dropped him. You know.
I couldn't believe. As soon as
I
I
couldn't
saw that
believe it.
stat line, as soon as I saw, I was like,
couldn't
I'm like,
believe it.
I was watching Red Zone. And I'm like, oh, of course. Now when it's
Of
irrelevant,
course.
Tajay
when it doesn't
Spears
matter
having
anymore.
the crazy game that he had, and then like
Yeah.
the last ditch effort, Priest Hall having a
Yo,
touchdown.
full lineup this week. How many points I scored?
150.
Not even close.
Oh,
Not even
I don't know.
84. Full. Justin Herbert, Brees Hall, Pacheco, Calvin Ridley, JSN, Sam Laporta, Bucky Irving.
The only one that did good there is like
So-
JSN.
So
That's
my
it.
problem is I didn't care about my team this week, so I left the Lions defense in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Negative 12. Negative 12 from the defense.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds about right. I mean, yeah, Josh
yeah.
Allen. Josh Allen's MVP.
I got lucky. I had Jared Goff as a quarterback, so
Yeah,
I was
he had, like,
loving those.
50
I was
something.
60 in my league.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
505 touchdowns.
Except I'm at a
That'll do
crossroads
it.
this week. I'm at a crossroads in my other league, which is my buddy's like family league. We have Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I'm going against Jamar Chase in my family league.
Gotcha.
So I'm
Gotcha.
at a crossroads.
And again, if it's anything on me, it's one of those where like even if I had like the most points in my lineup, I still would have lost anyways. My optimized lineup still wouldn't have done it anyway. So it's like it's all right.
It could always be worse. You could be 2-12.
Yeah,
So, you
that's
know.
true.
And then your other league is 1-13.
Oh my God.
I don't want to be in that other league. I haven't made a single move in that league, and I still did better than the team I cared about.
All right, you see how happy we are. You've even lost in fantasy football. You're not even close to the playoffs, but you see how happy we are talking
yeah.
about fantasy football.
Got
You know
the
what
line the
I'm
other
not
week.
happy to talk
Go
about?
for it.
The
Go for it.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
fan.
no, not at all. Not at all. Not the
This is just a
slightest.
waste of the season now. It's all about Caleb developing. I think we've said that for maybe 3 weeks now. And every time we say that, somehow it's not even him that looks worse. The entire team just looks worse.
Yeah.
That offensive line last night could not block anyone.
I think we talked about this all year. Just the running around in the backfield, and it's the same thing. They almost got killed on that one play.
Yeah. Granted, a lot of people are complaining that he's missing a lot of throws, but you're gonna get that from a rookie quarterback. It's just it's crazy to me that you consistently cannot get a good offensive line. And I don't give anything to the rookie that started last night. It was his first game, and he was told he was going to start on Sunday. It's kind of a tough position to be in. But the fact that the rest of the offensive line didn't help at all doesn't help them.
I think it's like a coach thing now. They're not just deciding to do like quick and quick crossing routes. I mean, Caleb wanted to die on the sideline. Like the little clip of him just
Caleb was
lying
laying on
down.
the field like the picture of like
Like he-
Cleopatra's death. Like
Yeah.
that's what it looked like.
He's not happy. He wishes he pulled the Eli. I feel like
No.
No.
No,
You never know.
No,
You
in no
never
sort
know.
of way. I mean, a lot of from listening on the radio and stuff like that, all the insiders that come on and talk, none of them are saying like, oh, he's come out or said even in private that like, oh, he regrets coming here or something like that in any sort of way. So
I just feel like when you
I
compare it to like
understand.
all the other rookie quarterbacks, like he's got the worst situation right now, which is
I mean, yeah, I suppose.
I mean, Jaden Daniels, they're at 9-5.
They're in the
Bo Nix is
playoffs,
9-5. Drake May, he's not winning, but he looks good. Like he looks good, and then JJ McCarthy doesn't count.
yeah, I would.
JJ McCarthy is in the
Honestly, at
craziest
this point-
locker room.
Yeah,
but
this,
his team is 12-2. So
at this point, Bo Nix is my rookie of the year. To be honest, I think he's outplayed Jaden Daniels.
no, but the Broncos, their schedule is they're kind of
Yeah.
fronts. Like I got their only team to beat with the winning record is the Bucks, and that was week 3.
Sure, I mean, still he's still performing well. I mean, you got to beat the people that are in front of you, and he's
So here
doing
I got
all
it
Well,
pulled
he
up.
throws
They beat,
a lot of interceptions still.
right. Okay,
okay, they
all
beat
right.
they
I
beat
would take Brock Bowers still.
Yeah, I mean,
And actually, we were talking about it. I'd make the case for Brian Thomas Jr.
I'd make that. Yeah, I would like that too, and I would even
See,
throw
I
in
feel-
an
I
honorable mention
feel
of
if you
Bucky
go-
Irving. I like might give me some Bucky
See, I
Irving.
feel like if you go receiver, it has to be Malik Neighbors because he's played less games and they have the same stats.
True.
Oh, that's
So I feel like if you're gonna go that way, you might as well go. And Bucky Irving just came on a little bit too
well,
late.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is clearly the Jaguars MVP. He broke their rookie records for yards and touchdowns already.
In
So
14 games.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Like, I feel like if Bucky Irving came on earlier, then he for sure could have been up there.
Oh yeah. If they
But he's
didn't have
just-
the first like 6 weeks of the season where it was like running back by
Yeah.
association and everyone's like splitting time, then he took over in that 6 weeks. Maybe if he did like
Like, if
4
they-
out of
yeah.
those 6 weeks.
If they didn't give the ball to Sean Tucker way more than they should have, he
Yes.
could have.
I agree with that.
That's my
was
fantasy
annoying
team, by
for
the
a
way.
couple
That's
days. Yeah,
ridiculous.
Overall, getting back to this game, Bears came into the season. Ryan Poles maybe came into the season telling us like, hey, this offensive line is going to be average and good enough, and clearly not even close. So it is it's well below the average, the idea for an NFL standard of an offensive line. The cracks are showing. That would be the only thing going forward. Is clearly you have the offense there. You have all the offensive pieces of DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. You need DeAndre Swift. Yes, maybe a backup running back would be good, but Cole Kmet. I can keep naming all the names. Offense is fine. Offensive line and defensive line, for that matter. That's where it
Are there
matters.
good
So,
linemen in the draft? Like I know Will Campbell. That's like the only one.
There's
that
the
I-
kid out of Michigan, and then there's another one out of LSU.
Yeah,
that the
Will
Bears are
Campbell. Will
kinda
Campbell's
projected-
LSU, but he's not going to be there.
projected
He's going to
around.
go earlier.
So that would be my only goal: is draft offensive linemen, draft offensive line, trade for offensive line, or free agency offensive lineman. That's the only
Defensive
way.
line also. I mean, they have some pieces on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Javon Dexter is up there for one of the breakout players of this year. He looks amazing. Montez Sweat, I feel like he's worth it, but he needs that Jonathan Allen that he used to have. He needs someone else that's got to take the pressure off him in order to fully succeed. So you got to find that second guy off the other edge or another defensive tackle. They don't need a full defensive line. They just need a piece or two.
Now this is where I throw in the idea of what if the Bears had drafted Jalen Carter when they could have, and I honestly hear the idea of immature line or immature locker room.
You never know how
'cause-
they're going to develop with different teams.
No,
I-
but
I-
also,
the
I'll
thing-
tell
the
you
thing with
this-
Jalen
I'll tell you
Carter
this,
is-
though, Javon Dexter's stats to Jalen Carter are actually not that far off.
Okay.
He's not blowing him out of the water like everyone thought he was.
Okay.
And the thing with Jalen Carter is like the Eagles D line is you can't really single man on man him.
Mhm.
Whereas if he's the Bears, he's double triple teamed like every play. So
I suppose, but I don't know. You would assume they still would make the moves and get somebody. So
Yeah, I think something you can look at is, I mean, I just remember so many drafts where they just did not draft an offensive lineman and drafted something else, and I'm like, we could have had, Paris Johnson back when he got drafted by the Cardinals. They could have had the other guy that's on the guy out of Northwestern that went to the Chargers. Peter
Slater, Sean Slater,
Yeah, Slater, and then there was another one, the Sawolski guy.
Peter Skronsky.
Yeah, Skronsky.
Yeah.
Like they could have had all these guys drafted as well in different parts. Obviously, maybe they only get one or two of them.
I mean, this year they
But,
passed on Olu, and now
yeah, that one.
he hasn't
too.
given up a sack yet with the Jets.
So it's a
and that's
lot
not
of
me
that
saying
with
either
it,
of
too.
like, we should not have drafted Roma Dunze, because
No.
I like Rome.
Yeah,
so.
I agree with that.
He's a really good pick, but I feel like you had 3 receivers already. You didn't really need to.
No, but it's also the idea.
He's
of, like,
a way better upgrade
I
than
know,
having
it's like-
Tyler. I would rather have
obviously
Rome
he's an
Odunze than
upgrade.
Tyler Scott at that 3.
He was definitely an upgrade, but looking back at it, probably should have gone O-line there.
I don't think so.
No, because Rome sure probably been drafted earlier in that draft already. So you got.
Plus, you got to think. You look at it now. Yes, he's
That's true, that's
maybe a
true.
3. Come 2 years, Keenan Allen's not going to be there, so he'll step into that spot.
Yeah.
You got to that was a more long term thing. He's learning under DJ
We'll
Moore.
see.
and
We'll
Keenan
see. We'll
Allen
see how
right
he
now.
looks next year.
My thing to also look at with this team is how bad the defense is just turned over in 1 year. Last year being a top 10 defense, now just every single time Sam Darnold had a second in the pocket, someone was not only open, but so wide open that their run after catch was picking them up 3rd and 19.
That's just
Third and
that's just
15.
Kevin O'Connell.
Every
dude.
single time. No, because it's not. It's every
It-
single team that goes against the Bears.
I don't watch the Bears even as much as you do, so that could be true. But I mean, the Vikings, they're 12-2 for a reason. Like they
Yeah.
have great weapons around them.
But when the 49ers are doing the same thing with no Brandon Ayuk, barely any running backs.
that's Kyle
That's
Shanahan.
crazy.
That's Kyle Shanahan. Those are 2 top 5 offensive coaches in the league.
when it's happening to Drake May.
Okay, fine.
And I was there for that
I
game.
could give you that one. I could give you that one.
I was there for that game. It's just when it happened to Jordan Love before Toyotathon, that's when it was a problem.
Oh, because he's still above average
No,
when it's
he's
not Toyotathon.
I don't know how there's just so much turnover in that team. And Eberflus was still calling the plays at the beginning.
Yeah.
How is it that much different?
I mean, they got rid of the guy that seemed to have the only idea of how to run the defense in Eberflus. So it was tough. I honestly, personally feel like they've given Thomas Brown has shown that he has too much on his plate. He can't handle all this.
Yeah, he's the guy that gets promoted way too quickly. I mean, he
Yeah.
went from assistant offensive coordinator to head coach in the matter of 2
Yeah,
weeks.
no, I made the joke on Blow the Whistle the other week. It's that tweet of like I became important at work today and it's ruining my life.
Accidentally
Yeah.
became important.
Yeah.
That's ruined, yeah.
I think he'd be fine if he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Although the
No.
offense doesn't look great, I feel like he'd be fine. He'd be good
exactly.
if they
But
brought
just
him back as the offensive
give
coordinator
him a
next
step
year.
back. Give him a
Yes.
step back. So I mean, clearly we had that same debate of like, hey, what's it have to show if Thomas Brown? He's already shown he's not going to be a head coach anytime soon. Maybe you give him a couple more years. Give him at the beginning of the year to have it established, but not in the middle of the year. Not with 5 games left. Now with some of one of the toughest stretches down the road. For the Bears, just in general, like that wasn't a good look. So not nothing to help them there.
So I think this got reported on the Score today. Someone came in and was talking about who the top name is for the Bears right now.
Shoot, who is it?
Mike Vrabel.
Okay,
Offensive
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Well, why does his name sound
'Cause
familiar?
because he's just failed at the Raiders, failed in New England.
Yeah,
It's better than the other McDaniel.
Yeah,
Like, not
that's
by
true.
much.
No,
Not much.
Josh McDaniel, not Mike McDaniel. Josh
Oh, fine.
McDaniel.
Okay, so yeah, that's not good.
That's not
Okay.
good.
Yeah, no.
That's not
You
good.
said Mike McDaniel. I was
Yeah,
like,
I it's completely blanking out what name
yeah,
he said.
that's-
Yeah, Josh McDaniel as
Not
the
what
offensive
you want.
coordinator
not
is
what you want.
would be the top option.
No, not good.
No,
Not good at all.
good. Terrible for quarterback development. Terrible. That'd be awful.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it after the season once they start interviewing and all that stuff, who they should be able to bring in. When we come back, Kobe's got to go out because he said something like 2 weeks ago that just caught us by surprise.
It's a lot more than 2 weeks ago. It's like,
But now it's starting to show that he was right.
I
Sources
stand on that.
Sources were right, and he cooked. So we'll get into that when we come back here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
What if we like live played this song and like brought out like a guitar and you came on the synth and just started playing it like that? Is that what Low Blow Sports turned into?
Yeah.
We just start playing the instruments ourselves.
That's what Fortnite turned into.
Low Blow Live, the musical.
Low Blow Live, the musical.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sure.
I like it. And you know what? Here on Low Blow Sports, Kobe made a crazy. He looked at some crazy stats on Jordan Love a couple weeks ago. But now it's kind of turning out after his performance on Sunday Night Football.
I told you it was real.
Kobe, take the floor.
All right, so Sunday night, not a great game. Packers blowout. I just started about a month. What was it, a month ago?
I would say maybe 3 weeks ago.
I brought up the Jordan Love Toyota-thon splits. And so I found this tweet. Jordan Love not during Toyota-thon. 3,829 yards, 29 touchdowns, 25 picks.
Mm-hmm.
During Toyota-thon, 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, 2 picks. And then Sunday night, Jordan Love goes 20 for 27 for 230 and 2. And they just dismantled the NFC West leader, Seahawks.
Toyota-thon, baby.
It's real. It's
real.
I can't believe this.
Like, remember? Do you guys remember the Jay Kuda Watson Gibbous Moon last year with the Detroit Lions, and then they lost on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, losing to the moon is crazy.
Yeah, this is on that level.
It's just one of those things that just positively correlates, and you're like, oh yeah, no, they're so. And you're like, oh man,
it's
all the stats point that direction, but you can't say that for certain. But goodness gracious, yes,
I think you could say it for certain because the Packers look. The Packers, I feel like this year, maybe it's just the whole team is playing better.
Now hold on with that loss.
The
pretty
Vikings,
sure
they have the tiebreaker over the Eagles and the Vikings.
Okay, gotcha.
But losing David Montgomery for the year, how is that offense going to look? Because I was talking about it at home, and my stepdad's like, man, it won't be that big of a difference, but he's a big factor in that.
I think their defense is more like of a problem because they still put up, what was it, 42 points?
Yeah, a lot of it was garbage time, though. They were up by a lot.
But Adam Schefter made a tweet about their defensive injuries, like who they're missing. Aiden Hutchinson, Ali McNeil, Marcus Davenport, John Kaminsky, Alex Anzalone, Malcolm Rodriguez, Derek Barnes, Jalen Reeves-Babin, Carlton Davis, Ennis Rakestraw, Emmanuel Mosley, and Ifeatu Melifonwu.
Yeah.
And then they just lost what is it, Alan McNeil.
And they just lost Khalil Dorsey.
No,
also.
they just lost another guy, the defensive tackle. They signed to like a 4-year extension over the offseason.
Alan McNeil.
Yeah.
He was on the list. And Khalil Dorsey, which is just...
It's a lot of names, and I mean, it's clear that Dan Campbell can overcome this. He can overcome all these names.
I think he could overcome it against bad teams. You can't overcome it against teams like the Bills.
Yeah, what I wanted to point out is can the team even overcome his decision making? And what I wanted to get to was that onside kick with 12 minutes left.
Oh my gosh!
Why?
See, I don't think it was that bad of a move. I really don't. You're down by 10. Your defense hasn't made a stop all day, or like one stop all day. Why not try to get the ball back, make it a 3-point game?
I would only point out the fact that they sort of did stop them the very next drive, limited them to a field goal.
You gave up 48 points. Like you might as well just try it. You're down by 10 or whatever it was. If you recover that, Jared Goff had a 505 game. You recover that, you'll probably go down the field. It's just you didn't recover.
Yeah, but what if you just went ahead and actually made the stop that time?
True. Imagine if they got that stop, but
if we're playing
you don't make the stop.
If we're playing the what if game, then we can also throw in the what if they made the stop.
Yeah,
the odds they made the stop were not that high.
I suppose so, but when you hand
but do you think it gave them a better chance to win by onsiding that? Do you actually think that?
They weren't going to win the game regardless, I don't think. I think you might as well try to get the ball back.
Point, there's still, you can't say that. There's still 12 minutes left in the game.
They were down by 12. There was 12 minutes. They were down by 10.
And they scored both times after they had the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
And not only that, they made it so
the Bills also scored both times.
They made it so if they get an onside kick at the end of the game, then they would have had at least a shot to get a touchdown or a field goal.
Exactly.
And that's all they needed. They could have gotten that drive and maybe stopped them at the 35.
I think it's just blown out of proportion. Like it wasn't like a horrible call. It wasn't.
I agree. I don't think it's a horrible call, but it is a bad call.
It's another bad call that's cost them the game, and he gets overlooked because he's so passionate.
I wouldn't say
off kneecaps.
I wouldn't say that kill.
It's happened before where Dan Campbell's eagerness to make plays and be spontaneous has bit him in the ass.
Go back last week.
It's happened so many times, and it's overlooked. It's overlooked because he's so nice and kind and so cool, and we make memes about him. Like that's if he was any other unlikable coach, he would be already fired.
Go back last week, the fourth down play where they go for it. And it worked out for them, and no one talked about it.
Yeah,
it's the same.
No, everyone talked about it. I mean,
I know, but not
that was Gruden's big thing about 4 out of 5 going for 4 on 4 down.
Not to the extent they were talking about this.
Crazy,
but it worked out for them. So it's not the backlash. Now it didn't work out for them. That's when the backlash comes. It's what you get with Dan Campbell.
Let me ask you this: if Robert Saleh did the same thing and had the same result, what would you be saying about him?
If a Rob Saleh offense had like 30 points, that would be the greatest day of my life, honestly.
But if
fair enough.
But if he's losing games like Dan Campbell is, what would you be saying about him?
Dan Campbell lost 2 games this season. Like
if Robert Saleh was still losing games and making these kind of calls week in and week out, and they still got the same record, he'd be fired.
I think it's just a difference because Dan Campbell's Lions team is 12-2, and Rob Saleh and the Jets were not good. I think it's just the whole different. It's a whole different thing when it's the Jets.
Although that loss is actually big for the NFC.
It's the same thing. If the Giants go out and do that, then like nobody really cares. They're just trying to win the game.
True.
But now it's the Lions and they're 12-1. And they're trying to go get the football back to win the game. Then it's like a whole backlash. Like it's all about what team is doing, making the play.
But like I said, that game actually is big for the NFC. The Eagles and them are now tied at the top of the NFC. And the Detroit is somehow lucking out in both of these ways. They still have the number 1 seed as of right now. They have the tiebreaker over the Eagles. They also are now tied with the Vikings, who they still have the tiebreaker over. Like they're still lucking out, losing out on so much stuff. And this is another point. If David Montgomery is going to affect this team enough, they are not good they're not that good when they play on the road.
Who's their third string running back? Like do they?
I can double check
Yeah.
really quick.
If you could like Google
Their
that,
splits
that's
when they play on the road is tougher than when they play at home. They like that home field advantage.
the Lions.
Yeah.
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds isn't horrible. Like he's not great, but like he's serviceable.
He was there all last year,
Yeah.
so he knows the
yeah,
system.
he scored.
I think
touchdowns
Jahmyr
last year.
Gibbs Jahmyr Gibbs is so explosive. He's just so much faster than everybody else every single time. And it might be the fact that they do split, which they'll would probably consider doing again.
I think they'll
giving him
split,
enough
but I
time.
think it'll be like
Have to.
70-30 instead of 50-50.
Yeah,
the way it
I
is.
would think so too.
I think
so
it's
just to give him
I think
enough time.
I think you are getting away from more. I think this is the same thing we saw
But
with
that-
Alvin Kamara and Mark
Yeah.
Ingram. It's the same fact, the same thing. And just I remember Mark Ingram touches going down
Yeah.
and down and
And
down
then-
as they kept playing.
and then
together.
with him going down, you'll probably see more, fancy plays, little more creative plays
No, I
from
think
Dan
they
Campbell.
they might actually get Sam Laporta involved now. 'cause,
Sam
like,
Laporta, or you
Yes.
probably see some Amon Ra out of the backfield sometimes too. Not like a crazy
it'll
degree.
be
It'll be like
J-
you're gonna see
You're gonna see J-Mo out the
see,
backfield.
and this is the other thing.
thing.
At this point, if you're a Lions fan, you wish you had Khalif Raymond because you'd be doing a lot more jet
Yeah.
sweeps with that, a lot more touch passes because that's what he
But
does.
going back to the
You can
on the
do that
road,
with
the
these
Lions
guys.
won like
No,
9
all-
straight on the road at one point. Like they're not.
Yes, but their player performances go down when they're on the road. They're not exceeding like they are when they play at home.
It's a lot of teams. Like you're better at home, but like if they win the game, like I don't. Who cares at the end?
True.
If you only win 27-24 instead of winning what they did against the Jags, like 50-13, like a win is a win in this league. Like,
They showed
doesn't
it last
matter.
night, but what are the? Do you know what the final schedule? Can you pull up the final schedules of those three teams?
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Because I know
So-
I know the Vikings have like a gauntlet.
So the Vikings. So what's really interesting, and it could come down to week 18. The Lions and the Vikings play each other in week 18. But before that, the Lions play the Bears next week. So I'll count that as a win for the Lions. And then they play the 49ers. So that'll be the huge game.
That's probably
week 17.
2 wins the way the 49ers are looking.
That too, but
It's
again,
crazy
it's
that
so
they're not
it's
gonna-
so
But
back and
They're
forth.
so different week to week.
But
that
it's
you never
in
really
San
know.
Fran. It's in San Fran.
The Niners are so different from week to week that you never really know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Like
It's in San Fran. It's Monday Night Football, so it's a primetime game. With it's what you would think with San Fran's season on the line, and you would also the other storyline would
it
be.
depends what San Fran does this week. Because if
Exactly,
they lose
exactly.
this week, they're kind of out of it.
And I'll even pull up. I'll pull up their schedule really quick too to see if that's going to even be a factor.
I think they have like a 1% chance to make the playoffs.
Oh, really?
Somehow I kind of
They play Miami. They play Miami, who fold against good teams.
Miami, where?
They're in Miami.
So I mean, Miami at home in the warmth is a lot different than Miami at away.
Yeah, but it's
in the
also
cold.
the 49ers playing the warmth. So
Yeah,
It's
not
more-
big of a difference.
No, it's more important for the Dolphins. I think.
Minnesota on the way out. Their last 3 games: Seattle, Green Bay, in Minnesota. So that works out for them. And then they're in Detroit for Week 18, like I mentioned. And then Philadelphia.
That could be two. That could be a 1-2 ending right there.
Yeah,
Going against the Packers. In
exactly.
Detroit.
They're red hot. They're red hot right now. And then finally, the Eagles right now, they get all 3 division games on the way out. They get the Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants.
Unrelated to the Eagles, but if the Vikings win the division, do you keep Sam Darnold if you're
Yeah,
the
this is
Lion-
what
if
me
you're
and
the-
him want to talk about. What is your market for Sam
if
Darnold?
he ends up,
they made the playoffs.
if he goes 15-2, like you can't.
Yeah.
You got
you can't kick him to the curb.
Exactly.
It'd
But
be
like,
he would have a very short leash if you believe in JJ McCarthy that much.
I don't.
Or
can't
would you
give him a
sit him
short
like you did
leash.
with Aaron Rodgers?
What's up?
Would you keep him and do
No,
what
'cause-
the Green Bay did with Aaron Rodgers, just holding Jordan Love behind him?
Because it's
for so
different.
long?
Because Rodgers was like 35. Like Sam Darnold's 26 in his prime.
This is
doing
also the first time Sam Darnold has ever looked good. So
True.
it would be very interesting to see it happen again.
Like it's like Case
I'm not
Keenum.
at this point. You can't deny that it could happen again next year. With
I think-
the
I
exact
think
same
so.
Do you
weapon.
give him
Keep him,
another 1-year prove it
Give
deal?
him another.
Yeah, you could have to.
I think you have to, but someone's going to offer the same amount of money. It's like
I think so too.
It's like Case Keenum. They NFC Championship. They brought him back. He wasn't as good in the next year, and then they got Kirk.
There's 2
But-
routes they can go with this. You get a Geno deal where he gets like a 3-year deal, and then he starts kind of not really playing to the level he was last year. The team's not really playing to that level, and I think some people are maybe starting to think about it. He's still somewhat consistent, but he's not what he was last year. Or do you just give him another? Hey, you did great this year on your 1-year prove it deal, but that might just be a 1 year thing.
I think you
We
just got
need
you
one
got
more.
you got to keep going.
You can't call it a 1 year prove a deal because he proved it. And you're like, I'm still not going to give it to you.
I don't
No,
think this year
sorry.
was a 1 year proof. I think it was more like we need someone to be.
Sorry, we
They-
actually didn't think
they
you could
were-
do it.
They were gonna go with JJ McCarthy and he got hurt. So
Yeah.
they were. I think this year is like, look, can you do that again? And if you can, then we'll sign. Then we'll sign you.
Yeah.
It's a
It
tough
could
position to
maybe come down to how good the playoff stretch comes down for Sam Darnold.
Oh, if he is a bad game, in the
If he
playoff-
fo- yeah, if he
has
absolutely
a
folds,
terrible playoff game, he's not going back to
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way. It's gonna be tough. When we come back, I think we'll talk about some awards and figure out who we think is going to win some of them. Although the MVP is pretty much wrapped up, I think, thanks to Josh Allen on Sunday. So we'll talk about all that and more here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports.
Red Left! SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
The quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football. Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
Welcome back to Low Blow Sports. I'm Scotty K. No gimmicks, Nick Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Kobe Burke. Boys, it's time to talk awards. I think we can get through a couple of them pretty quickly.
Sure.
Like Josh Allen, who somehow, with the game Lamar Jackson had, improved his odds to win an MVP. It's crazy. His only competition has a crazy game, and Josh Allen still somehow.
I know it's just
pulls away.
technically NFL awards, but Ashton Genty should have won the Heisman.
Ashton Genty should have won the Heisman.
100% should have won it.
Yeah, I'm on that side too.
I'm still mad about
I
that.
want to pull. I found something. I want to.
But however, if that doesn't happen, then we don't get to get all the memes about Travis Hunter's girlfriend being
That's
so
true.
mean.
She made an 8-minute video.
So
yeah,
I know
8-minute video of her like explaining
Crazy.
herself, and I said I'm not watching more than 5 seconds.
I ain't watching all that.
I mean,
I'm
there's-
sorry that
yeah,
happened for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened for you. I'm happy for you.
I know
so.
Kobe doesn't really like PFF, but they graded Heisman seasons. Travis Hunter has the worst Heisman graded season in the entirety of the award. You know who has the highest?
It wasn't Genty with like a 95.
Ashton Genty has the highest grade of a season.
Oh my god.
He's higher than Joe Burrow.
That's crazy.
That season that Joe Burrow had,
Yeah.
debatably one of the best seasons in college football history. Ashton Genty had a higher graded season and didn't win a Heisman. How?
Popularity contest.
It is. Snaps
I did
not
like
an
that
official
one.
stat.
Genty won the fan vote too, so it's not even.
Yeah.
It's
He
not
won the
even that.
fan vote, And
he was
what
on
else?
he was on
won
a high
something else,
percent of
too.
ballots.
Yeah.
He won the best player in the nation award. I forgot what it's called.
Hey, but
Travis
guess what?
Hunter.
Guess what? He did. Travis Hunter didn't even win Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, but he won Heisman.
And he won wide receiver of the year, which people said should have gone to Nick Nash, but
It should have gone to Nick Nash. He was number one in every single
Triple
statistical
Crown,
category, and not even the Triple Crown. Every statistical category, he was number one in the nation and didn't win the award.
I don't.
Crazy.
I don't, yeah, that makes no
Graded
sense.
as the 50th ranked corner in college football, but won the best defensive player of the year.
Makes no
How?
sense. No
How?
sense at all.
And he's going to go top 5. He's going to go number 3 to New England. That's where Field Yates puts him.
Yeah.
And apparently they see him more as a corner than a wide receiver. But he'd still split time at wide receiver in the NFL. That's how
Good
they
luck.
view him.
Good
Good
luck
luck,
with
dude.
that.
Good
Good
luck,
luck with
dude.
that.
Ashton Genty, future Chicago Bear.
He's a cowboy. He's 100% a cowboy.
He could be.
The Cowboys fan will burn down Jerry's World if they don't
No,
draft him.
Ashton Genty has New York Giant written.
I don't know. Rico Dowdle's picking it up.
Dude, he's good.
He's not doing too bad.
You want to know?
Are you going to take Rico Dowdle over Ashton Genty? Like, go for it. You're gonna
he offers more. What? Pacheco and Scatabo, and this year you had Pacheco, Scatabo, or Pacheco.
Well, they just got rid of
Clyde Edwards.
They just cut
No, I think
Clyde.
Clyde Edwards pieced out.
He got cut.
He just got released.
I don't know what they're doing with Carson Steele, like a 4'9".
Fullback.
Like I don't.
He's a fullback.
Yeah.
They put it running back for some reason.
He's got to stay in that team. He's got to feed that gator. So.
He's got to feed that gator, dude.
I got all the odds in front of me for most of these awards.
All right, what
so.
award do you want to go through first?
I mean, like you said, clear cutaway AP NFL MVP right now, minus 900 Josh Allen, according to FanDuel.
Do you guys think there's any way that someone can come back and win that
I
award?
mean, if Josh has a couple bad games and Lamar throws for 7 touchdowns again, then
Yeah, it would have to be Josh Allen falling into like a Kirk Cousins hole of just like eight or nine interceptions and no touchdowns.
If he reverts back to like rookie year Josh Allen for the last 3
Yeah.
games for some reason,
Yeah.
which he shouldn't, because I know one of them is against the Jets, so he's going to go crazy in that one.
Exactly. Loves doing that. So this is, I think at this point it's kind of clear cut away Josh Allen. Even if he does stumble and hit it-
Lamar is 2 of them already. Like he could share.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It'd be tough. If you're gonna get it, this is the good money to take a shot now at everybody else. But yeah, it might be a donation at that point.
Bill's just got to go do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, but if you do believe in Saquon, not for MVP, but he's most likely going to be the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley
has to be.
minus 500. Jamar Chase behind him at plus 350. Josh Allen's plus 2,000. Derrick Henry 2,200.
Derrick Henry has to scored a touchdown in like a month.
Yeah,
It's
he had
crazy.
he had a rough go last week, so that probably did not help a lot of people.
It's probably a
into the
Saquon runaway.
Yeah, and everyone else is kind of a stretch. 3,500 for Lamar Jackson and plus 8,000 for Justin Jefferson. Yeah, rookie of the year. Like you said, just stop me if you don't believe in any of these odds, or if you think this is just straight up wrong. Jaden Daniels minus 5,000 for rookie of the year.
Minus 5,000 is too much. It's a lot closer than that.
Yeah,
I think he will end up winning it, but I think 5,000.
This is where I would maybe take a sprinkle at Bo Nix at plus 1,200.
What's Brock?
Brock Bowers is at third at plus 2,200.
Yeah, I would.
I'll do that.
I
as
just
well.
don't know how much a tight end really impacts the game.
This is all the guys we were just talking about, where Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., Bucky Irving are the top 5, and then just behind him, Ladd McConkey, who I think
he's had a sneaky good year.
He's had a very sneaky good year. I
Ladd
think he'll
McConkey's
have.
probably been the most consistent because he doesn't really get hurt. I think he
Yeah.
was hurt maybe the one game.
He literally didn't play last week.
And
yeah, that one game. You know, he did play this week.
No, not like last week. Not
Yeah,
2
that was
days
the
ago.
only game he missed. Malik Neighbors has missed games, and I think Brian Thomas has missed games.
Missed a
as
game.
well.
Yes.
So, and he's just their number one option. He's like one of the only guys scoring. He's outperformed the other wide receiver they drafted in the first round 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah.
No one else on the team can even like catch a football remotely.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
true.
dude.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Oh man, I forgot about this family. I forgot. It's my
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
It's my bad.
I mean, like I said, I'm not married to this take that I had, but over the weekend, we were chilling with our boy Grant. He came in watching the game. He's like, yeah, Zay Flowers. He's like, he said, oh, they're more context, he's a Ravens fan. He goes, yeah, Zay Flowers. He has a chance maybe next year to be a top wide receiver. I think for that very exact reason. Here's the thing: Zay Flowers, very good wide receiver. He doesn't get enough volume to be a top 5 wide receiver.
Because Lamar doesn't. He doesn't give volume like that.
Yes.
Look at Rashad Bateman.
It's not exactly.
He's the wide receiver 1, but he's not like a bona fide wide receiver 1.
No,
Like, he's just
any other team. He's a debatably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
he's a 1 on a lot of teams. He's just like
I don't think so.
They don't like use him like he's a 1. They
I don't think so.
When you look at other teams like Justin Jefferson, he's like a bona fide number 1, where he gets like the bulk of the targets. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb. They don't use Zay Flowers like they use like a wide receiver 1 should.
Let me ask you this: would you rather have T. Higgins or Zay Flowers?
T. Higgins is more like a prototypical one with like the height, but I'd be happy with Zay Flowers.
I think I'd rather have T.
I'd rather have T.
T. Higgins is more like a prototypical size.
I'd rather have T. Higgins.
I think I'd rather have T. Higgins. Would you rather have Devontae? Would you rather have Devontae Smith or Zay Flowers?
Ooh,
it depends like who the quarterback.
That's
is
a good one.
Also, with some.
Well, obviously, but I'm just if you were building a team, who would you have? Devonta Smith or Zay Flowers? That's
I'm
tough.
on the fence on that one. Yeah.
Honestly, as much as I hate him, I would take Devonta Smith.
I've never really seen Devontae Smith as like.
Shut up!
Heisman winner.
No, Kyle Trask won Heisman in 2020.
You wish.
This is canon.
You wish.
Is he even in the league anymore?
Yeah, he's the
still in the Bucs?
project quarterback for their Bucs.
Like it's like what, year 4 now?
Yeah.
He's Josh.
Calm yourself. Go watch Enigma.
Oh jeez.
Nobody's watching that.
Nope.
I'm gonna go home and watch it.
Oh my god!
It's a waste
in the bathtub.
It's a waste. The lights off.
Yeah, I know.
In a little hidey hole.
Yeah.
You gotta go up in the attic.
Yeah.
Just the lights off.
Just go in the little like 4x4 start watching Enigma.
Yeah, exactly.
Start a campfire up there or something.
What else do we got?
Yeah, I'll keep firing away. This one's gonna be tough now that he just got injured. Defensive player of the year, -160, currently TJ Watt. Just behind him at +340, Pat Surtain. Nick Bonito +650. No. Will Anderson Jr. +1400. Jonathan Greenard, thank you. +2600, and then Daniil Hunter at +2600.
There's not really a runaway. Like everybody's kind of
no.
But I feel like it just has to be TJ Watt because
if
Parsons got hurt for so long.
It depends on how long he's going to be out. If he's going to be out at all.
Well, if Will Anderson, if he has like a good game or 2 to finish the season where he gets like 2.5 sacks per, and just is destroying behind the line, like gets 3 tackles for loss and then 2.5 sacks, I think he could start pushing that.
I mean, I'm always going to lean like probably Pat Surtain in some sort of way, just because he's just He's just a lockdown corner. He has all the stats.
You don't really give corners that kind of award.
I know,
which is like
it's kind of like MVP being a quarterback award.
Yeah,
it's
defensive player of the year is
quarterbacks are the running backs of that in that. Yeah,
they really are.
That's.
I mean, who's leading the league in sacks?
Got to be
Trey Hendrickson.
Okay,
from the Bengals.
Dude,
okay, with 12.5.
Trade deadline.
Yeah.
He'd be a sack.
Xavier McKinney, seven picks.
Yeah, but they were all like most of them were all in like the first 5 weeks of the season. I think 6 of them.
He had like 6 games in a row with a pick.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Still impressive.
There's no one who's really like running away with like
no,
like no one has in crazy sack year.
Who's defensive rookie?
Defensive rookie was next right here. Quinion Mitchell currently. Quinion.
There's also no D rookie that's really stood out at all this year.
Yeah,
there's
all of them are plus money right now. Quinion Mitchell +110 at
like in the past couple of years, it's been like so obvious.
I like Jared Verse. Jared Verse at +150.
I like Jared Verse.
Tarheeb Still at +800.
What are his sack
You know
numbers?
what?
This is defensive rookie of the year.
No, what are versus sack numbers?
I don't have them in front of me. I just have the odds right now.
Let me go look at this.
Where was I? Yeah, Tarheeb Still at +800. Chop Robinson +900. Leatu Latu at +3,300.
Chop's coming into his own in Miami. He's starting to get more time.
And then Kalen Bullock at +3,300
I think
as well.
It's got to be
Jared versus 4.5 sacks.
Yeah, but he's got he's got a lot of pressures, I think.
Got a lot of pressures, and he's probably got a lot of like just tackles overall. I'm sure
it's a tough. That's a tough
one.
Yeah, and you also got to consider he's basically stepping into the shoes of what was Aaron Donald's position.
I mean, it's him and Braden Fisk who've kind of like together.
Yeah. So
rookie of the
Cooper
defensive rookie of the
DeJean.
year.
Possibility.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety.
Oh my
He's
goodness,
a
I didn't even
corner.
consider
He's
this
just a
one.
corner.
Comeback
Knock
player
down
of the
your
year.
number one.
Joe Burrow at is minus 700 right now for comeback player of the year.
There's also not a lot of candidates like him, Rodgers for Rodgers.
J.K. Dobbins is second at plus
Yeah, but
1100.
he got
If
out for this- he got hurt
he got
again.
hurt again.
Maybe out for the
he'll
season,
He
so-
can maybe come back and do
Next
it
year,
again.
next year.
Tim Patrick at plus 1800. Sam Darnold 1800.
Ooh, Sam Darnold. How is he not the number
Because
one?
it's the same reason Joe Flacco won it last year.
Because Joe Burrow has like 35
I mean,
touchdowns.
Joe Flacco
and
won it
2
against the guy who
interceptions.
died, so like it's a little bit of a different
Joe Burrow's,
conversation.
Joe Burrow's numbers are way higher than
They
Sam
need to
Darnold.
make a
Joe
separate
Burrow
award.
would be the MVP if they were contending for the
See,
playoffs.
my problem with the comeback player of the weird is they need to make a most improved player because they kind of like
They
combine
do.
the
They
two.
need
and
to
it's-
do that.
They gotta
Instead
make
of
a separate
comeback,
one.
like you could have comeback. Comeback could be from injury.
Like Sam
but
Darnold.
most improved is a way better option.
Sam Darnold would run away with most improved.
Last one, coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell plus 110.
Kevin O'Connell's got to do that.
Dan Campbell plus 340. Sean Payton plus 550. I like that one.
I
Dan
like that one,
Quinn
too.
600.
Dan Quinn should be up there, to be honest.
Mike Tomlin plus
I just think
1400.
Kevin O'Connell taking
if they win the division,
taking
because they
Sam
have a shot
Darnold
to, you got to think Dan Quinn's going to be up there.
taking Sam Darnold to 12 wins, I think is you got to do it. Taking a backup quarterback who is like almost out of the league and bringing him to 13, 14 wins potentially.
Bro, Dan Quinn completely turned over the worst defense in football last year and turned them into a top 15.
I like Sean Payton in the sense that
They're not going to make the playoffs. That's why he's not going to win it.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
the thing.
They probably are
The
going to.
Broncos, they win one more game, they clinch.
Yeah.
Are they really?
They're 9-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who are
This-
they playing, though?
They're playing. It's a pretty big one next week. I'm pull it up right here.
Or they win or the
quick.
Colts lose one more time and they clinch.
They play the Chargers. That's gonna be humongous for both those teams.
Mhm.
On Thursday night football too. Oh man, that's gonna be exciting.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't know they were playing that. They've been advertising that so much. But for some reason, the beginning of John Cena's theme, but then it just goes into a different song.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I don't know what they're doing on Amazon, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I would think with the Chargers playing the Chargers this week, that's huge. They have the Bengals who've crumbled, and then they have Kansas City, who's most likely going to be benching everybody come week 18. So, let's see.
yeah. Anything else
No.
on the award side?
No, that was the last one.
All right, cool. When we get back, we're gonna jump over to the MLB. We had some big trades going on for the White Sox and the Cubs. So people leaving the Sox again, and then the Cubs bringing in their next savior of the team. We'll talk about that when we come back here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports.
Longtime fan, sports is like life.
SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
We're back on Low Blow Sports, talking some baseball over this offseason. We talked about Juan Soto signing last week. This week, we're going to bring it back home because both Chicago teams decided to make some moves. Which one do you want to talk about first? The one that actually helps the team or one that makes the team worse?
Go with the Cubs first.
All right. Kyle Tucker traded to the Cubs for, honestly, pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
They got him on the very low end.
We have the return.
I know he didn't Wisniewski.
8 race.
It's a big thing.
And then
the
not even a top
boxes.
prospect. They didn't give up any of the big prospects they had. They gave up Paredes.
That's also because he's going to be on a free agent year. So it's,
that's the whole.
Yeah,
you can't give up like a whole bunch for a walk here.
And that's the point I kind of want to make. They bring in Isaac Paredes on the trade deadline, and everyone loves it. It's a great trade, and he does pretty decent. But the big thing about him is that he was under contract. So you trade him away for a guy who, based on the Ricketts, they're not going to sign next year.
Yeah, no.
It's a weird move to me, but if you ask Cub fans, King Tuck is here. He's the one that's going to bring us to the playoffs.
I think it's because the division is just wide open. Like, there's no really. There's a chance the Brewers get a lot better because they're really young, but Cardinals aren't really.
They lose Willie Adames. Here was the full thing again. It was Isaac Paredes, Hayden Wisniewski, and then number 73 overall prospect, third baseman Cam Smith.
Yeah, and
so I would say fleeced, but I'm also on the side of it. And you guys can tell me if I'm crazy. I feel like the Astros are kind of like the Steelers in the sense that they don't give up on something unless they know it's kind of done for, or they might not.
You made that point on Friday with George Springer, and I could see it.
So it was, George Springer.
I think it's more of just
Carlos Correa.
It took them a year to kind of get back.
Yeah.
I think it's more of just like the dynasty is over for the Astros. They got to
true. They got to move on.
Bregman's walking. Getting rid of Kyle Tucker.
I've also heard the argument of they also just don't pay out big contracts like that. And Kyle Tucker was, I think he's on the top of the top 25 or the top 20-25 players.
They just
number
reloaded
20 or something like that. The MLB came out with. So
they really just reloaded. Besides for Altuve, like Correa left, Jeremy Pena, Springer left, Kyle Tucker, Jordan Alvarez.
Jeremy Pena's still there.
No, I'm saying like Correa left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So they got,
okay.
But now like the on my mind stop. The minor leagues, their prospects aren't really like as good anymore. So now they're gonna rebuild for a bit.
Yeah, I want to say two things. One, Paredes going to the Astros. He's going to tear up Minute Maid Park. When they play at home, they looked up his splits.
Yeah, the Crawford boxes.
Where he's hit from this year based on a chart of Minute Maid Park. He's going to destroy there.
Oh, okay.
He's going to love it there. He's going to love playing there for the Astros. He's going to be a great pickup for them. For the Cubs on the other end, sure, Kyle Tucker's a great player to bring in. But you gave up one of your starters from last year who was not that good. And they haven't really added much pitching wise, and that was the biggest problem they've had last year was their bullpen and starting pitching.
And that's right.
So until they start bringing that in, it doesn't really move that much for me.
Haven't heard a lot of rumors about Corbin Burns. If anything, I've heard they were out on Corbin.
Only thing I've heard is that he might do like a 3-year deal, which is like a high. Like now teams don't really want to do like 8 years, but they could do like 3 years for like 35, 40 a year.
I've heard the rumors of Luis Castillo going to the Cubs as well. That's
I think they're the O's, Cubs, and Padres and Mets.
Which
and honestly,
4 teams that need pitchers.
And then the O's just signed this guy. So
Did he didn't get they didn't get Roki Sasaki?
No, we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
'Cause some reports came out about him.
He's like some 35-year-old guy who I don't
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's
and
decent.
then
He's decent.
The one I have right in front of me right now, Newsweek has up that the Cubs are interested in Kirby Yates. So the Rangers.
I just think the whole pitching market is moving like so slow. Like
it's moving way too slow.
Yeah.
There's not enough guys
They're
signing.
like what, 1-2 players signed.
Yeah.
Blake Snell, Clay Holmes, and like that's it.
And then everyone else you barely hear rumors about.
Like you thought after Juan Soto signed, it'd be like a whole thing. And
floodgates would open. It'd be like the NHL. Like when the NHL happens, after the first guy signs, then everyone else does.
Yeah,
we kind of expected that for baseball, but it's not happening.
Yeah, we saw the Garrett Crochet trade. I'm sure we'll get to that in just a moment.
I was just about to segue.
That's. I mean, we saw that move being made, and then there was another pitcher that was traded.
Devin Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez.
By the way, he shaved. Oh my god!
I don't know why the Yankees still do that. They look horrible.
Nestor Cortez to the Brewers.
They look horrible.
That's not
honestly
gonna be
very
good for them.
underrated. Jake Berger to the Rangers.
I know. I saw that one too. That one's pretty good for them. It's pretty good. Pretty good interior infield. They got
good.
there.
They named a food after him, so that's
true. And now everything's bigger in Texas, so it'll be a
That's
way
true.
bigger burger. There.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's true.
But let's get into that. The Garrett Crochet trade. Basically, they turned the guy who was compared the most to Chris Sale and did the exact same thing they did with Chris Sale by trading him to the Red
just
Sox.
because they were both White Sox.
Because they were White Sox lefties that had side
lanky.
The thing that
lengthy
bothered me in the
pitchers.
playoffs last year, every time Sean Manaea threw a pitch, they're like, "Oh my god, that's Chris Sale." Like every single time, it was ridiculous.
No, when he was drafted, they were literally like, he's Chris Sale if he was more of a velocity than movement guy. That's literally what they said he was. And he is. He's up there like that. But the return they got, sure. Decent.
I'm seeing Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery. Who else? I know
Braden Montgomery's pretty good.
Kyle Teal's pretty good.
Kyle Teal's pretty good, but we have Cuero, so like
It's a prospect.
it's
you know?
another
Yeah.
catcher prospect.
Why not?
Like it's something cool. I actually looked at a graphic. It was, what would you rather have, the White Sox when they traded the last time they traded to the Red Sox a pitcher, and it was like Yohan Moncada, Michael Kopech, Ronaldo Lopez, Lucas Giolito, it was all those guys, or would you have this talent pool? It's not the best talent pool that they have in the minors right now. There's some guys in there that could be great. Like I said, Guerrero, Teal, they could be up there. I think Brooks Baldwin has some potential, but man, this prospect pool just is not like it was.
Better than what it was, but where it was bottom of the barrel. So I guess anything is better
True.
than that after a while. So if you go from 30th to the middle of the pack,
I think the
that's
goal for the
all
White
right.
Sox is to not break the record for most losses in a season.
It's going to happen.
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't. 30 wins is basically the
like
ceiling
that's
right
that's
now.
as low as expectations could possibly go.
No, you want to hear some more low expectations? Let's get into this. The Roki Sasaki situation.
Okay.
The White Sox reportedly had a presentation for him.
That's just like a why not? See what happens.
Listen. No, listen. It reportedly went so bad, he stopped considering them.
Oh my god.
I don't know why it took him so long to realize that.
Hold on, it gets better. Apparently, his mentor is a former White Sox player, Tatahito Iguchi,
Okay.
and he convinced them to go to the White Sox, and now the White Sox are reportedly his top contender.
Okay. All right.
Like if
How is the presentation that bad that he was already one of the top contenders? He goes to a presentation in Chicago. They brought him here, and he's like, "No, I don't want to go there at all."
realistically,
And then
there's
Tatahito
like-
Iguchi just goes, "Bro, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, the stadium's like in the hood, but it's fine. Like, it's not that bad."
there's really only like 3 contenders for him.
No, yeah,
It's
there's
the
only a couple.
Dodgers, the Padres,
No, apparently the Dodgers don't want anything to do with him.
and they're still gonna give him money because they who cares?
Do you want to know what? And, me and my friend were joking. We go, "Do you want to know what that presentation was probably like?" Chris Getz sits down at the table. And he's like, he doesn't say a word. He just unveils a a campfire milkshake, and then just goes, "We can offer you this."
He probably thought he was in Kansas City with all the former Royals that were hanging around. And
He might have
he's just
he
like,
might have just like what wrong socks or something.
Yeah.
You never know.
He's like, "Red Sox? There's a decent amount of pitching here."
Yeah.
His agent was like,
Decent
no,
amount of stuff
yeah,
here.
the
Like,
Sox.
yeah.
I don't want to go to the Red Sox.
I'm just ready for 5-6 months of pain when that season rolls
I know.
around.
Well, guess what? You won't be able to watch it. So
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's a shame. I'm never not going to get a subscriber to CHSN. It's just not going to happen. I have the antenna.
100 days till opening day.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just do that. I'll pay for the new like antenna, and I'll just upgrade that.
maybe I'd talk about it.
I have an old antenna, and I scanned it. I have the channel, but it's audio only. It's so stupid.
I mean, I think it's better because I wouldn't want.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
At that point, I'd rather just listen on the radio anyway. Support your local.
We know number one is the first. Southside, stand up. That's the number one play of the year, man.
Number one, it wasn't even a play. Like it was,
No.
it was a game.
It was the vibe. It was the vibe. The first
No,
one.
like what they announced number one today or yesterday, and it
what
wasn't.
was it?
Tani's like you put a whole game for the number one play. You could have done the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam. You could have done
Freddie.
You could.
By Fernando is just the ball that
The ball went for 42,000.
Didn't the Dodgers sell that?
No,
Yeah,
the league sold it.
Yeah, the league sold it. Yeah, unbelievable.
That's so funny. That's so funny. That's incredible. Any final thoughts, boys?
Nah, we gotta get out of here. We're running too much time into their show.
They had to be trained.
I just want Pete Alonso to sign somewhere so I could stop worrying about it. That's really
You're keeping them up at night.
not really.
We'll see you guys in the New Year. No show next week because of Christmas, and the no show because of New Year's. So we'll see you in the New Year's, and we were talking about what we're doing. It's going to be fantastic.
BK Dub on Friday.
Dub on Friday. Blow the whistle. All that stuff. Kobe. Just go watch Enigma when we get home.
Yeah.
See you, boys.